Welcome to EQHO Mukbang! Way! Hey guys! This is such an innovative idea. We thought you want to know more about elections, everything EQHO, so why not bring the experts to tell you a bit more. So we're going to be chatting, eating, talking, rating our food, eating. So enjoy this peak entertainment. And Phoebe is going to ask some questions.
Hey! Hello! So we're so awkward, but yeah, we're the preps of EQHO and we'll be helping today. Peace. Question time. Are the elections open for all members to vote, or is it only the current execs?
Elections are open for all members to vote in. It can be anyone, but you have to have your memberships 14 days before the elections open, which is next Wednesday. So make sure, well, from the time of filming, week 7 Wednesday, you should have your memberships back.
25th of February.
That one too.
25th of February.
If you can hear that. So yeah, make sure you've got your memberships. It's open. We're doing it in a big lecture theatre, so we have a lot of members and we encourage every single one of you to come through, to vote, to listen to all of our amazing candidates and see the future of EQHO. Next question. Wednesday week 9, 6 to 10, Wednesday week 9.
What's the date for that?
6 to 10 p.m. 6 to 10 p.m. Nikki, do we know the exact date? The 11th of March. The 11th of March. In the Fab, in a big lecture theatre.
008.
Be there or be square. What will happen if no one elects for the role, or the only person who elected has been Ron?
Ron. So Ron means reopen nominations.
Yes.
So if you are not happy with the candidates you're given, then you can vote for Ron, and then we reopen the nominations. So we have another by-election after the main elections. So people can reapply if you weren't confident enough the first time round, or you didn't know about the elections, you can apply again. Or if you were unsuccessful in the first elections, you can run again in a different role. So it's a really good opportunity to get involved. Yeah.
The creative team. Woohoo!
Oh,
Ooh. These are for you.
Oh,
Questions are for you. What is the creative team?
Creative team is a group, normally about 5 people, led by Comp and Perfco. And it's basically the choreographers of the society. So for classes, any exec member can choreograph. But for things like showcases, like smaller showcases like CMD, or extra projects like illuminations, or last year's creative team did Pizzazz, which is the TAP Society showcase. So any smaller showcases and little creative projects that involve choreographing, the creative team will either be the only performers or the only choreographers in that.
How can I be part of the creative team?
So if you run for the role of like competition coordinator, which is Liv this year, or performance coordinator, which is me right now, not for much longer, then you're automatically like co-leads of the creative team, and the other spots are kind of up for grabs. So they're not like automatic with any of the other roles, but regardless of which role you run for, you can like do an extra application after the elections to be a part of the creative team, and then it will be up to the Compco and the Perfco to decide. So it doesn't mean that like the president is automatically part of the creative team. You can run for it if you're socials, if you're sec, like any role can run for it after the elections. So yeah, hopefully that's clear.
How is work divided amongst the creative team?
Again, this is basically down to the co-leads, so it depends what projects that the creative team want to do for that year. And then once we sign up for a project, Compco and Perfco will basically just decide who is choreographing. So when we did the illuminations this year, it was Ruben and Tamika who were choreographing for that. And then things like CMD perform, like showcases, James would probably decide that, but yeah.
What have you learnt in your time in the creative team?
Just like in creative team, I think you get exposed to a lot of different things, and at a much quicker pace. For example, teaching rehearsals, coming up with formations, teaching choreography, and also coming up with choreography on the fly. I think that's quite important. Yeah, kind of grow into the role. I feel most of us kind of grew into the role over time, and yeah.
The president. How much time in the week does being pres take in terms of duty?
Not much.
Yeah, not much at all. Just my whole life. I'd say it really depends because most of how we operate is on WhatsApp. So a lot of the time there are always lots of WhatsApp groups popping off at once. So it kind of varies really depending on the time. Freshers week you can be spending lots of hours a day, most of your day on exec stuff. Even during the summer it can get a bit heavy, and like shockwave time as well. But then in the gaps, after term 1 is finished and you kind of get set up, get all your ideas implemented, then it kind of slows down a little bit at this time of year. And then elections come around and it gets a bit busy. But apart from like WhatsApp and general management, you chair meetings, so that takes up a little bit of time. You have separate meetings with all of the team members. And then you have meetings with the SU, the student union. Oh, thank you.
No, we got Pepe's.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, in conclusion, it takes a lot of time, but I think it's worth it because you get to see the results of the work that you put in. And you can kind of do what you want with the role. So, and it's as flexible as you want. I feel like I did a bit too much, so personally. But like as president, you can do as like balance it how you like with your schedule and everything. So yeah, make it how you want. Yeah.
What qualities do you think are essential for being a president?
Ooh. I'd say leadership definitely. I think it varies, as in like what type of leader you are, but having the confidence and the ability to communicate with other people, convey your ideas and have a vision is really important, because otherwise there's no unifying presence on the exec or like mission that you're going on. So I think that's something we did really well this year. I'd say you have to be diplomatic, you have to be able to engage with everyone. There will be a little bit of disagreement, so you've got to be able to manage that. And good public speaking, because you speak at major events, speak at Shockwave, you speak at like most of events, so you've got to be engaged with that, so there's a lot going on. And I would say, you need to just be like personable, because you're the figurehead of the society, so you need to have members, understand and like engage with them, because if you don't know what members want, then how can you better the society? So yeah, those are some.
Exactly.
And be nice, be kind.
So, share your experiences as being the leader of the team.
I think it's been really fun. Like, it's a great team because I think everyone like is really passionate about society and is really proactive. So it makes my life a lot easier to deal with everything because everyone's engaged and like doing their job. I think it is a unique experience because being part of creative team and doing the admin side of things means you kind of have a lot going on compared to other societies. But I think it's really cool. There's a lot of really good opportunities you get, like to host cool events, to experience things, and as a team it's really cool. So even right now, having a Mukbang, it's quite a cool thing. So yeah.
Vice President Elegy. What distinguishes the president's role from the vice president's, and where is the line drawn between them?
So first and foremost, I think like the most important thing is to kind of create both like a nice personal and professional like relationship with you and your pres, because that's the most important thing and that's what's gonna like solidify the two of you throughout the whole year. Vice president is, I mean, the simplest way to put it, an extension of our wonderful president who does a lot already. I'm mostly here to support whenever he's not available or he's, you know, spreading himself too thin. That's when I jump in.
And I guess that's essentially it. President, you just talked a lot about all the work you put in. I'm just a support. And obviously we have a lot of conversations when it comes to like big decisions. But it's always nice to support a very competent president.
I guess it also varies as well. Like, you can kind of make the VP role how you want it to be, because you have like the flexibility of being able to do a bit of everything if you want to. So, having your strengths, like your amazing piazza performance, was good.
You need to be able to know how to what's it called?
Shout.
Yeah.
And be present.
Chicken select. Not
Sponsored by W.
People are confused about what exactly VP does. Can you explain a bit more?
In essence, VP does a bit of everything. If you're applying to be vice pres, you need to be able to adapt yourself into any position that you may be needed to jump into. I guess that's just a really important thing. You need to be flexible, and you need to be, I guess, just ready to do anything. Again, support president, but the rest of your exec team. And yeah, communication is key with your partner as a president and the rest of the exec.
How did you manage conflict or disagreements within exec, if you did at all?
We didn't have many disagreements, siblings. Not really.
I mean,
I guess you probably answer this best, Ruben. You know everything.
I'd say there's like here and there are instances where people's ideas clash, or like we're all big personalities, so sometimes like tensions can run high, especially when there's big stressful events like Shockwave, or like when you're very passionate about an idea and like it's not as feasible. So sometimes you just have to like separate your professional from personal, and like I think that's a big thing, especially when you're close friends with your exec, trying to separate that and just be as honest as we can with each other about what's happening. So yeah.
Last code. Oh my god, Jack. This is your time. How do you reach out to external choreographers?
So if it's an external choreographer that I might not know personally, which I don't know many personally, not anyone to be honest, but I just hit them up on Instagram, go like, I love your choreo, and then yeah, you just, if they reply, they reply. If they don't, they don't. But hopefully a lot of people reply, and it's like you get a good response, and then just yeah.
What improvements or adjustments have you made to this year's class structure, if you have?
This year, I think we increased the number of classes quite a bit. I think partly due to the fact that it definitely helped create more demand for EQHO and kept us relevant. And also, I think with our the exec this year had an appetite to teach and choreo, so I think that definitely helped. But yeah, just increase. Yeah, we try to maintain a lot of beginner classes to keep like regular beginner classes going on, foundations as well, mostly in term 1, to introduce people to dance and then build that kind of connection to EQHO moving into the rest of the year. Yeah.
How do you ensure classes are accurately labelled by difficulty so members don't find them too overwhelming?
I think at the start of the year, that was quite a difficult thing to balance. There was a lot of getting feedback on classes, what people thought of it. I think Nikita's very helpful feedback form was very useful in discovering what people thought about classes, what they thought about the level. I mean, also just talking to people personally, seeing what they think, what is going on. Why is it? This room is so silent. It's kind of like, oh, okay.
It's almost like
Okay.
then people can hear you speak.
Yeah, true that. Okay, let's move on. Let's go.
Puffco. We have James. So, what did you do in preparation for Shockwave? And how many months in advance did you start to plan for Shockwave?
Wow. I could probably talk for about 5 hours about this, especially the first part. It might be easier to say what I didn't do in preparation for Shockwave. Whoa, okay. Not like that. Well, different things need starting at different times, right? So like in the summer, obviously Shockwave is in like February time, like early middle term 2, but like in last summer before the year started, I was like making sign up forms. I think just getting things ready earlier is better. Obviously I had a template from last year, which is quite helpful. The bulk of the work is definitely like in the lead up to Christmas and over the Christmas period, because once you get back for term 2, you want to just be ready to go with everything. So that was where like the most of the actual work was done, a lot of admin. But I would say I was preparing for a lot of it before that, like throughout term 1. And we had CMD before, which was kind of like a useful dress run in terms of doing another society show and like kind of getting people to sign up, running rehearsals. So that was quite a helpful like precursor to it, I would say. So yeah, earlier the better.
What difficulty did you encounter throughout the whole showcase, if you had any?
I think overall, like the actual day went very well. Hopefully everyone agrees.
I agree.
That's great. I'd say like timing is one thing. That's one thing that I was worried about beforehand, where it's like you have a schedule for the day and trying to stick to it is kind of difficult, especially when you're doing like blocking and societies or other dances have like 5 minutes on stage and you have to be kind of strict with it. And yeah, just starting things on time is definitely something to be wary of because you don't want to fall behind. But luckily, I think we were okay with that. In terms of difficulties, I think dance-wise we didn't really have any difficulties, which was great. Most of it would be the like admin side of things that was more difficult. But yes, yeah, but overall pretty good, I think.
A lot of unforeseeable circumstances may happen before the show, e.g. someone injured themselves during rehearsals and unfortunately had to drop out of all their dances. Now, how would you deal with the situation?
We did have a few instances where people had to drop out quite late from routines, which obviously no one wants, but sometimes it's unavoidable, like through injury and things like that. It's kind of just like keeping calm is the main thing. Like you might have to reshape things. Like I remember there were some like final rehearsals where like people dropped out like at that time and we had to like rework things on the spot. I think like staying calm and like keeping a level head, adding like some extra time if you need it. Like I tried to make it so that we had extra rooms available in the final week in case like dances needed rescheduling, like or people needed extra rehearsals, which is really helpful. But yeah, staying calm is the main thing, because if you're like, oh, suddenly I wanted 15 and now I've got 14 dancers and you panic, then that's not going to help anyone. So yeah, staying calm is the main thing, I think, and I think we dealt with that well. Hopefully all the dances looked like they had all the people in them, because they did.
Huh?
But yeah, that's my answer.
Compco! Exciting! Do you find it stressful being responsible for leading the entire competition team towards success? And how do you manage that pressure?
I think it helps that the whole creative team will help you choreograph for comps. So yes, I oversee them and obviously I want them to do well. But having the support of Jack choreographing Advance with me and Ruben and James and Tamika choreographing Inter means that I know that it's like not only does my job get nicely spread out, but also means like I trust them to know that they're going to do a good job with it. So that helps a lot. And I think it's actually not super stressful until the competition day because it's quite fun. Like I'm just doing rehearsals, you know.
What's your judging criteria for allocating people into Inter or the Advanced team?
I think it's obviously like a mix between a lot of things, and all of the creative team, or at least the way we did it this year, is the whole of creative team get a say. So we like had a little voting thing for each person, and each dancer they could put pass, Inter, or Advanced next to their name. So like everyone has their different opinions, and then we had to hop on a call and like basically discuss, because it's very subjective. People will like other people, and there are very limited spaces on the team. But generally, it's like, obviously retention's good, even if people mess up, because that's guaranteed. The bits that they do dance, you want to see things like how comfortable and confident they feel with the choreography, how much performance they're giving, if they're clean. So yeah, things like that were what I was focusing on.
How many hours does the role require?
I think it basically is what you make it. I would say for competitions coordinator, it's not even the actual competitions that necessarily takes up most of my time. Obviously, there's a bit of admin involved. Holly does some of that regarding things like buses, and then I obviously teach a team that I'm in, and then the other members of the creative team do the other team do the inter team. I think for me, it was things like Shockwave, assisting with Perfco from like a creative team co-lead role. That's what took up a lot of my time, and I think that just depends on how proactive you want to be with helping with Shockwave, how much your Perfco wants you to do, what creative projects you decide to do that year. So it is what you make it. You could spend not very long, but I like to be proactive.
Secretary. Okay. So, what are some responsibilities of secretary that are not so obvious from the role description?
I feel like it's kind of about having to sometimes be all over the place, because I feel like secretary and probably VP are like the two roles where you kind of have to be everywhere sometimes, as in like they're pretty supportive roles. You do have a lot of like distinct responsibilities that you got to do, but you're basically a lot of the roles involve working with many departments, but like secretary specifically, you're like almost always in touch with like class co. Then you're like helping around with Shockwave sometimes. You're basically in touch every single day with marketing. So it's kind of like that kind of stuff that you can describe as like a specific responsibility. It's just having to kind of be around sometimes to support and help a bunch of different departments.
Have you ever had occasions where the SU cancels room bookings at last minute? And how would you communicate to the class co and handle this situation?
I love this one. Thank you for writing it. Who doesn't love the SU sometimes, you know? It's just it happens sometimes. I wouldn't say that we had like last minute cancellations, but they would be within like short notice. How this would usually go is I usually immediately send an email back to the SU asking about availability of other rooms or other times. But that's usually a no. So then I'd usually contact Jack, who's class co, and then we'd go on from there. Some of the times we would be able to like do a class on another day. In other cases we would sometimes have to cancel, but we've only had like 2 or 3 cases throughout the whole year where this did happen, but yeah, SU is sometimes tricky.
What small habits make the job easier over time?
I feel like it's like developing a routine, which probably happens with every single role on the exec team. For me, it was like main responsibilities like that you do on a weekly basis is like writing the newsletter, for example, where doing maintenance on the website. I do like a website twice a week and then newsletter once a week, like on a Sunday morning, where you kind of get some rest on a Saturday day, and then you're all fresh and refreshed on your Sunday morning, and you can write a nice newsletter, issue and update the website with these wonderful Outlook links that Holly sends me. Yeah, just develop a routine, but that will probably happen naturally either way.
Right, the treasurer, Lee herself. How and what tools do you use to keep track of EQHO's expenses and revenue?
A lot. There's a lot of them. Mainly the ones that I use are obviously the spreadsheets that you make yourself, which I will be sending to the next treasurer if they want to adapt from it. But it's mainly a financial sheets, obviously tracking everything that comes into the account, everything that comes out. Your register, so going to the classes. You can share this with like the class co mainly, but like some other people. Seeing what members we have, tracking like class passes, just keeping a record of like attendance and things like that. Then also on the SU site, they have the sales reports. That's really useful, seeing just basically wherever money can come in or whatever you can spend out. MRFs as well, like all the forms, the financial planners. Basically, there's a lot of things, and all of these have like really confusing names. So I'm saying these words off, but people probably won't even know what they are. Like, what is an MRF? Yeah, but it will make a lot of sense.
How would you balance investing in big events versus maintaining financial stability?
I mean, it's really easy when events go really well. There's not much to worry about there. But obviously beforehand, investing in it, there's a lot of discussion with purchases and things that we might want to get, but we're not sure whether to get them or not. But honestly, mainly the thing is, it is just communication, and it's like nobody ever takes it. When you're discussing events like this and things of like what you want to put towards things, and you're just working, like I work with so many, I talk to like every one of these like every day pretty much, especially when events are big and happening. It's just about discussing with them what they think is going to work, and it's kind of a, if you go for it, you got to make it happen, if that makes any sense. So almost the more you put into it, the more that you and the whole exec team understands goes into it. Like Shockwave, obviously we put a lot of money into that, but it obviously went really well. Like we did really well this year. So yeah, communication.
Good job, us.
Good job.
Yeah, well done.
Do you have any tips and tricks?
For like money, like earning money, or like
As your role.
for like me personally, as like myself. No, I'm kidding. That's crazy. No, little things, just little things. Like I'd say again, communication. Like Nikita said, my role is very depending on what other people need. So when they need money, when they need things, when they need extra stuff done, a lot of the time they will turn to me or come to me, and I'm obviously very happy to help with that. Tips and tricks, I'd say just making sure you stay on top of the financial records, obviously, but also making sure you know where to set your boundaries is something that maybe I haven't done too well this year, but I guess it depends how proactive you are. Just making sure that you're knowing what's your role and what's not, but also don't just sit back. Doing a treasurer, honestly, is not just kind of a sit back role. You can't just let it happen, just be like, oh, have this, and just let them go with it. You need to be like checking in on them, keeping them updated, this is how much you spend, things like that. Even things like sending in invoices to external suppliers, maybe don't send them in straight away. Sometimes like keeping them back if there's any problems and then waiting to send them in are just things that you'll learn over time.
Marketingly! Given that marketing is involved in almost every event, how do you ensure effective communication between departments for promotion?
I mean, yeah, I think marketing is one of those roles where it's really important and actually effective to have a lot of group chats. I kind of have group chats with every different department. That way it's both able to liaise with those departments because you want to, obviously you need their info and make their idea come to life. That's something I really want to do, is what people, whether it's classes, whether it's Shockwave, it's kind of what they have envisioned for that event or for that thing, that you then can make that come across in the best way to our members. So having group chats and making sure you're consistently communicating in those group chats is really important. If there's people then who are not in those group chats, it's then talking to them. A lot of the time I'll be added to group chats that then Aki's not in, that then I'll liaise all that information to Aki so then she can help create the graphics. So yeah, it's just making sure that that communication is really important. And when it is things that are bigger, we will have also online or in-person meetings. I know for Shockwave and for Ball, we've had kind of big meetings where we can discuss and sort out planning things and kind of what we want to come across. And again, that's where media comes in as well. So it's, yeah, making sure everyone in the marketing team and also with other teams in the exec kind of all are communicating together. So that's kind of my main thing, is I kind of a lot of the time do talk between different departments. But yeah.
How do you plan marketing timelines, especially during busy promotional periods such as Welcome Week or Shockwave?
I think for me, I like to create a schedule, making sure I kind of work backwards. Also making time for things where it does go wrong is really important. Having those days where if there are things that take maybe longer, I think it's also making sure that those timelines don't clash with things. So I kind of make sure if it's like posting, that different events have different days where they're posted, to make sure that then it's kind of more seen by our members. So yeah, I think again having those meetings is really important so that everyone's kind of aware of what's going on, so things don't kind of cross over. It does get busy. There are times where you're juggling multiple different projects at once, but it is also amazing when it does it is also amazing when it does come together, and yeah, it's very exciting to kind of see things come to life and see members get excited. That's what I really, really love. But yeah.
What is something people don't see about marketing, do you think?
Oh, probably the amount of communication that happens. I really am talking to everyone in the society, in the exec, again, which I quite love. It's a good role that you do really know what's going on all the time. I think as well it's having kind of that vision of what you want to portray for the society. I think something that's amazing about EQHO is how authentic and fun of a society and how passionate we are about dance. So I really try and hold that as a value of how I want the marketing to come across to our members and communicating with members. So yeah, I think it's kind of keeping that excitement alive for the society. That's something that's really important. And I don't know if people see as much, but yeah.
Our graphic designer. How do the roles of graphic designer and marketing lead differ? And how should their responsibilities be divided?
I think graphic designer is more about designing posts and like maybe merch and like anything that relates to graphics, and marketing lead is mostly like doing promotions and also like outreach. And I think it really depends on how you divide your responsibilities with the marketing lead, because graphic designer is a new role this year, and me and Lauren, how we work things out is like Lauren is better at communicating with people and I'm better at designing, so she does the outreach, like communicating to people for merch, and I would do the design, and we together talk to the supplier who designs the merch. And so it really depends on how you work with your partner, and I think we did a great job. Yeah.
Have you ever faced creative burnout, and how do you deal with it?
Yeah, definitely, because I always have to design like posts and like stuff for media and like maybe for our members, and I think sometimes I feel like I did not really do a great job, and sometimes I don't really like my designs, but I get really positive feedback from my exec members, so yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I get really supportive like exec members, so yeah.
What are the challenges that you faced for your position?
I think one of the main challenge is sometimes what you want to make doesn't really become what you make. Like for example, like merch, like shortwave merch, I've designed a lot of different styles, but maybe there's some difficulties in printing and stuff. So I think sometimes expectation doesn't become reality, but I just have to accept that, and I've tried my best, so yeah.
Media coordinator. You. How long does it take to finish one class edit? On average, how many days does it take from the class being filmed to the class edits being posted?
Sorry guys. Usually it would take me, I'd say like 1 to 2 hours to edit like one class video. And basically for this term we've been trying to make it so that we try and post class edits as soon as like maximum 1 week after the class has been taking place, because we do know that a lot of people like anticipate watching those videos and they want to see themselves in the edits and they want to see the choreo, so that's what we try and do.
Where do you usually get inspiration for content?
If I'm trying to be like formal about it, I usually get inspiration from a lot of like films that I watch, like, and music videos and TV shows. Just like any media that I consume, I'm always like, ooh, this would be cute for like a promotional video. But also, if I'm gonna be honest, I do get a lot of inspiration from edits on TikTok as well and like Instagram. The ball promo video, I remember I got it from like a specific edit of Heated Rivalry. Guys, wait. But also, I feel like a lot of the members also have like a lot of very creative ideas. So whenever they want something to be like incorporated in the video, we will always like have meetings and we can always talk about it, and they always like share their ideas with me. So that helped.
Do I have to be proficient with the cameras and professional equipment to be a media co?
Not
No, honestly, not really. A lot of us usually film classes, like you guys have seen us. We film classes with like just our iPhones. It's very like, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's like, you don't need a lot of experience in order to become a media co. A lot of it you'll learn along the way, and it's like, it's a very fun role if you guys choose to apply. Yeah.
Right, now on to the social sex. Woo woo woo! Can you explain the new elements added to the role this year? Well,
so originally welfare was with Nikita as in secretary and welfare combined, but ultimately we decided to change it to have it welfare and social secretary because we have more contacts with the society in general. Obviously we are every social, which we chose to do weekly, which is up to you as social sec how often you want to do this. But within our role, generally you should just be around society, going to classes and speaking to people in general. So having a wider reach means you are the person that's going to tell people where to head for support, how to like handle any sort of conflicts you might have in society. Obviously you are welfare for your own exec as well. So yeah.
do I have to participate in all circles as a Muslim?
So all the choices that you have religiously are your choice, ultimately, so you do your own research on that. But you don't even have to participate in circles as a non-Muslim at all. It doesn't matter, like, you can just not do circles. It is up to you. But we chose to have a mix of sober and drinking socials, even though EQHO is not a heavy drinking social, so you don't have to worry too much about that. If the society still wants drinking socials, you can just liaise with someone like the vice president or someone else in the exec to take over the drinking part that you can't do.
If socials had a low participation rate, what would or have you done?
So before, when socials have low participation rates, what we usually do after every social is have like a feedback where me and Ali both discuss like what could have been done better and what went really well. Mostly with low participation rates, you really can't control it. Like sometimes with socials, you think they would have really good participation rates especially when it comes to socials that you guys have asked in the feedback form, but then when it comes to it, it's actually quite low. So when it comes to that, it's completely fine. Like for example, one of my favorite socials is literally the Christmas movie night, and it had like 8 people come, and it was so wholesome, and everyone was crying by the end of the movie, and I just felt like really close to all the people after, and we took a group photo. So it doesn't really matter if we have low participation. It could be due to the fact that, you know, it could be due to anything, due to the weather or the time of day, or because people are on reading week, or it's because there's exams. It's just out of our control, but we just try our best and do as best we can.
What is the best way to organise / prepare as a social secretary when deciding the details of all socials, such as what they are, when and where they'll be done?
So what we do is we keep a document. So it's a shared document with me and Ali, the social sex, on what we do, what we want to do in the future, the socials that people have told us that they want specifically, especially from like the execs or from the members. They ask like, oh, when's the circle happening? We keep that in mind, and then we obviously plan it with the marketing. Especially we work a lot with marketing. That's gonna be basically your main group chat. We barely talk about the social sex group chat anymore. But yeah, so it's just to decide what, obviously with the Google Forms, what people are gonna sign up to, how the graphics are gonna be for that, and like the actual details, so all of our members know like when, where, and when the socials are happening, basically.
I have one thing to add, just like this relates to the previous question with low participation as well, is that deciding the socials earlier.
Sorry.
Scared me. Okay, yeah. Deciding them early in the term means you can have a good mix of like, you need to have free socials or like really cheap ones, and like if you have something expensive like a pub crawl or that kind of thing, and then also with sober and drinking ones, like you need a good mix to make it as inclusive as possible. So if you have low participation, you could also evaluate, you know, are the socials inclusive enough? You know, is there a good mix? So also that really helps you not panic. Like you just do it, like for example, term 1, if you sort it out in like August time, when the term starts, you can just easily do the socials. Yeah. Like rooms are booked, budget's done, marketing's done, graphics know what to do. This is all sorted early.
Yeah.
You just do it.
I also want to say that sometimes people do ask for like everything, so they want it to be as cheap as possible. They want it to be like many participants. They want it to be like specific things. That's okay. Obviously, like you can't do everything, and just to make it clear and communicate with everyone that like you're trying your best, and that, you know, this is the reasons why you chose this, and as long as you have like some sort of reason or rhyme to to your socials is fine. Yeah.
Quick fire question. What are the social sec's favourite social this year?
Yeah, I think I already said Christmas movie night.
Guys, pub crawl. Oh my god, I love the pub crawl so much. The conga lines. There's like 40 people like a line going on the street, and it's just the challenges.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
please carry on the conga line and challenges.
guys,
Everyone loves them.
New tradition.
I don't know what that
New
is.
tradition. People really love them, and they come to me and they ask for more pub crawls. So if
Yeah.
the new social sex that's suggesting
Pub
if
crawl
they
with neon at the end. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, Ali will be there. Ali will be there.
I will be at every pub crawl, yeah.
Yeah, every pub crawl.
Thank y'all. Sorry, I'm just like deadpan staring at everyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamika and I've been the events coordinator this year at EQHO, and I'm here to answer a few questions. So the first question is, what does your role entail? So as the events coordinator, your responsibility is to plan the tour and also the ball every year for EQHO. So the tour includes an either international or domestic trip with the society, and you're required to plan activities, fund the flights and accommodation, and just sort out all of the general details for the trip. So for the tour, this requires you to be very organised and also to plan well in advance. So ideally you would want it to plan it over summer, so when you come back for term 1 you've got all of the details ready and the tour can be started to be booked and all the forms can be processed. For the ball, this can be planned during term, and this will require you to find a venue, find a theme for the ball. So this year we've gone for a night in Hollywood, which is quite fun, and to find like the catering and all additional things, like maybe if you wanted a photo booth, what activities you want at the ball. So it's just a formal celebration for the society at the end of the year, usually takes place in term 3. So some of the hardest challenges I would say with my role is being very organised and having good communication. You need good communication because you're going to be reaching out to lots of different people, lots of different companies to get things booked and organised, and also good time management, as those are quite big events, so you need to make sure you have enough time during your term to dedicate a good amount of time to it. I would say the best part of my role is having a lot of creativity. You can decide what destination you want to go to for the tour, you can decide what theme you would like for the ball. So this year we've gone for a night in Hollywood, which I think is really, really fun. And yeah, it's just really fun to bring your visions to life, and also you have an amazing team that can help you. This year I've had so much help from the president, from marketing, treasurer, so many more people, so really you've got a great support system there for you if needed. And yeah, just have fun with it. It's an amazing role and I definitely recommend.
So subscribe, but thank you for coming, thank you for watching. Be amazing. EQHO Mukbang. We hope this was enlightening, and yeah, like, subscribe, comment, sign up to run for the next exec, and you could be sat here next year's mukbang. So sign up. Give it up for our flaps. Give it up for our flaps. Right in the camera. Yeah. And stay safe.
Oh my god, bro.
Like and subscribe. The exec. It's vibes, bro.
Any last words?
Thank you all. We love you all.
Love you guys. Good luck in elections. I'm sure you will smash